Hi, everyone. Beckie Belote here. I am a creative memories advisor from Newport, Virginia, and I enjoy sharing tips. So today, I will be talking a little bit about frame punches. They're called border and frame punches. Actually, are they? No, they're just called frame punches. And I think that's what confuses people about what they are. So we're going to talk a little bit about them. Why? Because we have a new secret box out. So this is for the new year, secret box number one. And we're not supposed to open these until February. So if you order them, keep it in hiding. Don't let people show you what's in it. But I will tell you that I have heard from people that have dug in theirs, and I have not. I am not one of those, but I have heard that this is going to be a favorite. So I love it when they start out the new year with a fantastic surprise. So last week, I don't think I explained it well because I had some people text me, what is a secret box? I don't get it. All right. So most of us scrapbookers, like when new things come out, we just buy them. All right. So we've got that horrible habit. Actually, that's a lovely habit, girls. This is our hobby, and we should not apologize for that. But um, but typically, we like the new stuff. I mean, even if we have something we don't think will use, we sometimes buy it in case we someday will. I mean, I know how you guys are. However, these have been a real hit. The company has been really good to try to pick themes that they think most people would need for their scrapbooks. These are themes like probably papers, and I don't know what's in it. I'm just saying, but usually there's paper, stickers, embellishments, things that color coordinate, just like any other line that you would purchase. And what is nice about this is that it's actually a true surprise. It's just a surprise. They give you a discount for taking them up on the surprise. So it's 10% off of what the real value is. So you do kind of get a bargain. And to boot, they have usually punches in them. Like last year, they had Boilermaker cartridges. This box, I have heard they have a frame punch. All right, so that is why today we're going to train on frame punches because I want you to know how valuable they are. The company doesn't come out with them very often, and this frame punch, they're not going to sell. So the only way you can get it is by getting the secret box, and I think that you're going to love the secret box. So I think the secret boxes are 65.50. Currently, through most of February, I think through February 27th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, you can get free shipping on your order of $100 or more. That is a secret box and some tape runners. So I feel like that's really easy to do. Plus, I hope that I will show you some other frame punches that you may actually, don't have and you don't realize what gems they are and you would like to try them. So I'm going to put this aside for my local customers that like to order through me. You can do it, but if you have a $100 order, you can order yourself and ship it right to your home. However, if you do that, and this is a big something that everybody should also know about. If you purchase four of these, so every quarter they come out, if you purchase all four, there will be a fifth one that only people that bought those four can buy. All right, and I know that sounds silly, that we get to buy it, but it's actually pretty exciting. Like I feel like they put a little extra in that last one, at least they did last year. And I think that you'll really like it. And I like the timing that it's at Christmas. So really you could wrap it up and put it under the tree from yourself because I don't know about you, but my husband is not very good at gift shopping. So sometimes I even buy my own gifts and wrap them and put them under the tree for myself. So if you do that, this is going to be great for you, and it will be a genuine surprise. Okay, so that's that. And oh, I almost forgot to say, and this is really important. However you buy the first box, you need to continue to buy it the same way all the time. And if you don't, then when it's time to get that fifth box, they're not going to know that you bought all four. So if you buy one from me and then three, you go on the website and order those for yourself, you won't count. You will not get credit for that. And I can't fix it because they only allow me to buy a certain amount, and those are going to be the ones that have ordered all four through me. So I'm not encouraging you to buy all four from me. I'm encouraging you to pick and do it the same way each time. If you buy this one from you, buy the other three from, my website, of course, if you're my client, all 4 times. And if you order through me, where I give you the box, I'll ask you each time, did you want the next one? Okay. So just wanted to make that very clear because I know some people, I don't think any of my customers were disappointed, but I did hear and see on the website where some people were disappointed that they could not get that last box because they did something um, that made them not qualify. All right. So little lesson in frame punches today. So first of all, I'm going to give you a lesson in our boxes. Okay. So a frame punch box looks different. Not only does it say frame punch right on it, but the graphic looks different. All right. It looks like a square. All right. So let's compare that to this one, for instance. This one looks like a border. All right, but what's really cool about this is also a border. Our frame punches are border punches that do an extra bit. They're more bang for your buck. They're both $29, but this one does two things. This one does one. All right, one more that I'm going to show you because we can learn a lot from our boxes. So this one also is not a frame punch. You can tell because there's not a big square on it. All right, but how these are different is this one, oops, dropped the wrong one. Everything is backwards when you do this. All right. So this one, when I cut it, it's going to fall off the paper. This one, when I cut it, is going to hang on to the paper. And I can tell because we have nothing above the tails here. We've got a solid at the bottom. So sometimes that's helpful to know on what kind of punch you are getting. You can always cut the border off, but this one is going to fall off every time. Okay. Some of the skills that we use require one or the other. So I just wanted to let you know, you can look, you can tell. And also even the graphic on the punches give you that same information. All right, so now let me show you what other punches currently, and there may be more, but I think I have them all. The ones that the graphic would have the square on it. So if you're on your website or whoever's website and you're shopping for frame punches, this kind of graphic will be on the picture. If you're at your at a crop and you're looking at what your advisor or myself has on my shelf, these are frame punches. All right. So I'm going to show you, because I don't have the box, I'm going to show you some that we currently have, I think. Now they have been selling out a lot of these, so I think I'm showing you ones that you can still get. I didn't double check. I apologize. But this one is dollop arch. This one is a frame punch. The way you can tell by looking at your punches if you have a frame punch is they, just like any border punch, they have the little black lines on them where you're supposed to line up your paper to cut. Okay. But frame punches have a line outside too. All right. So see that line right there? Regular border punches do not have that there. All right. So that, if you look through your stuff, because there's ones that I'm going to show you, I mean, some ones that you may have that I'm not going to show you because they're not available for sure anymore. Okay. So you might have it. So look for that. That makes it a frame punch. So it's a border punch because you have the lines here. It's a frame punch because you have the lines on the outside and they're on both feet, both of the wings. You see those little lines are. So that's one. This one is called geometric. It's one of my faves. Okay. This is definitely one. See the lines out here? All right, and then we've got, oh, I love this one, Damask Arch. This is definitely one. All right, I think that one's still available. Pretty confident it's still available. This one is called Spring Leaf. Pretty confident this one's still available. This does a spring leaf fine. And I think I already showed you dollop. All right, so which one do we want to use today? I think, oh, and this one. Oh, I already said spiderweb. And this one, I'm not confident that we have, but I think we do. All right. So let me just prove something to you first. I want to make sure you understand that these can be, let me change my screen. I have no idea if my, oh yeah, not bad. So I'm just going to grab one. I'm going to prove to you that you can do this, that these are not just frame punches, but they're also border punches. So if you wanted to do a border, you line up to the black lines like you always do. So I'm going to do that to show you that this does two things, not one thing. All right, same exact technique. We're lining up the black paper with the blue underneath. And when we're done, we are going to have a beautiful border. So all of these frame punches are also border punches. All right. I know that looks ugly because I use the scrap. All right. See, Sandy Gibbs, I use my scraps. All right. So that takes care of that. All right. So now I'm going to show you how you could frame something. Now, if you're going to frame something, there is a rule. It must be even measurements. Even measurements. So what's even? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. All right. It doesn't have to be a square. It doesn't have to be 8 by 8 or 4 by 4. It can be 8 by 10. It can be 12 by 10, but it has to have even dimensions. If you want to frame a photograph, your standard photograph is 4 by 6. In order to frame it, you add 2 inches to each dimension. So for a standard 4 by 6, you're going to add 2 to each of those dimensions to get 6 by 8. So in order to frame this photograph, I need a 6 by 8 piece of paper. I have showed this before, but I don't see a lot of people framing photographs. So I just wanted to remind you that this is a skill that you have at your fingertips. If you do an ornate frame on your page, you need less decoration. So that's my 6-inch. And now I need an 8-inch. So this is a 6 by 8 piece of paper. This looks like a beautiful mat. I think I showed you last week how I have been using my little mini pod to store those good scraps instead of dropping them in my scrap folder. I'm not sure if I did or not. This is the mini pod. I learned at my last crop that are from your, if you do the power sort box, a whole pack of photos, actually 2 will fit in there, but not if you're using your thing for other things too. I can put a whole 200 photos right up here in the actual compartment if I want to. But this is blue, so I am going to drop this in the blue in case I need it later. I'll reach for that first. This is the mini pod, and I added the dividers. Okay, so now I've got my my piece of paper here. And now we're going to do the frame punch. I think I'm going to do this one. This is damask. All right. Now, if you're cutting a border all the way, like I just did with that spring leaf, you need to use these marks. But if you're going to cut around, you use the mark on the outside. So pay close attention, not hard, but you have to concentrate because it's not something we do as often. So I'm going to stick this in so that my piece of blue paper is lined up with this line on the outside of my wing. All right, and after you punch it, when you pull forward, if you see this notch here, that means you're doing it right. So I'm covering up my blue pattern, and I'm going to go until I have a little sliver of paper sticking out on the other side. In fact, it should be lined up to that line that's sticking out on the outside, see? All right, so that is an indication that I'm right on track. Now we're going to scoot it around. This now is lining up to this line on the outside. That little piece will fall off and you continue through. Now remember, you want to stop when this, you have to really pay attention. You don't want to get carried away and go through it or you have ruined your frame. So I'm going to stop there because that's lined up there on the line. Spin it and we're putting that back in and we're going to line it up to the line on this side and go again. When am I going to stop? I'm going to stop when that piece of paper sticks out just barely on the end. Now my last one, This one, don't let stuff kind of build up under it. If you do, it tends to jam. All right, and now we're going to put this on the little mark. This time we can't goof because even if we go an extra time, it won't cause any damage. You've already cut everything out. So now we have this beautiful look. Let me get rid of this. Sometimes I need to take a little smidgen off of my photo to get the look that I want. Let's see if I like this. I think I like this just fine. All right, if you wanted to double matte, that would be really pretty on this. I do have a lot of waist space. I'm going to go ahead. This actually, I love this photo. This was me and some of my teammates last year. Actually, not me. I wasn't even in the picture. But we were in Cancun for an incentive trip. And I want to take this opportunity. I have a lot of online followers. I have a lot of very special people here at home that support me. And because of your support, I will be going to Cabo. We were going to go to Jamaica, but bless Jamaica, they were hit by that. Hold on, I dropped something. Um, they were hit by that horrible hurricane. So we had to change our location to Cabo, which it's actually on my bucket list, so that works really well. So if I trim it down a little bit, I'm actually going to trim it a little bit more. I don't need the pillows on the back of that couch, do I? Actually, they're kind of distracting. And it's got a bent corner. It's kind of wreaking havoc even with my trimmer. All right. So usually I would use my photo trimmer for this, but I had this out, so I'm using it right now. All right. Maybe even a little bit off the side here. But this was on a trip. We were checking out. That's our CEO here, Allison Dutton. She's amazing. She was at our Seize the Day retreat this past weekend, and she's amazing. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and matte that. Let's see what I can find for matte. Oh, wow. Look at this, a scrap in my white. What I like to do to quickly matte. This is really nice with your photo trimmer too. But again, I'm going to go ahead and use this for now. It's got it a little bit shorter. What I did is I put it on that piece of paper, so just a little smidgen is sticking out all the way around. And that way, what I'm going to do you see the photo through the window? Makes me very nervous that's not level. Move it a little bit. All right. See the photo through the window? I'm going to drag it so the photo is leveled to that line before I cut. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. There's the photo in the window. Drag it until it's level with the edge. And that way we have a nice perimeter of white there. If it's not quite centered, like I feel like the bottom is a little bigger than the rest, I'm going to go recenter it just a tad. I used repositionable tape, so that made that easy to do. And now let's look at how stinking beautiful this is. Okay, is that stunning? And so when I go to make this page, I don't have to put a lot of elaborate anything because this is my giant embellishment. All right. Now, the only trick to this is if you have a 5x7 photograph, when you add 2 to that, you get 6x9, and it doesn't work on odd dimensions. So either trim this photo down to make it a 4x6 or make a bigger mat. So in other words, I would go up to 7x10. So actually 5 plus 2 is 7, not 6. Duh. All right, so there we go. So when I add 1 to each side, I get, in other words, if I make them both even by going up 1, I'll be at 8x10. So use an 8x10 piece of paper and you'll be able to get the same look with a bigger photo. Okay. So that's what I mean by frame punch. You don't need to necessarily frame a photo. You could have just for instance, a 6x12 piece of paper where it's beautiful all the way around. So anything even, you can do this skill too. All right. So let's do a title page. So if you want to do this with me, see if you have a frame punch. And I am going to use, let's do dollop. Let's do this one. All right. And the reason why I'm really harping on this is you can get one of these in your secret box. It will be one that will not be for sale. I think that you're going to like it. I don't know what it is, but I have a hunch it's going to be amazing. So in order to go around this piece of paper, which is what I want to do, these are great for title pages, you guys, and end pages when you're just looking for something to throw on there. I'm going to, and by the way, if you're just sitting here watching me or getting ready to do it with me, in a second, I'm going to ask you to grab your jumbo circle because we're gonna use that on this skill today. All right, and we are going to line up with the line on the outside because we're going around the piece of paper. All right, I'm going to do this quicker because it's the exact same strategy as we just did. I'm going to stop when a little piece of paper is sticking out at the top. All right. I am going to hope that you are saying out loud to yourself when I should turn, because I will tell you, I have screwed up more paper by not paying attention. So this is, you can barely see it, but it is sticking out there, this little tab on that little line sticking outside. All right. That should drop that out. All right. And we're going to keep going. And to yourself, tell me when I should stop, because you can actually see better than what I am seeing. So you should be able to tell me when I should stop. Okay, if you told me to stop there, good job. All right, rotate, put this on the line on the outside. Now you can see how fast it is. I'm going to actually move this now. Remember, this is the one that you don't want it to pile up so high underneath there. You get a little mountain in there, and you don't want that. I'm going to keep going till just a smidgen sticks out on the outside. Are you telling me to stop? Thank you, boys and girls. All right. And then last but not least, these little tiny dots make great confetti. If you're going to use these for confetti, I recommend that you put repo and a patch on your paper and then just kind of pick them up and kind of drizzle them over and kind of pat down. And then once you feel like it's had it, kind of pat down and then kind of go like this to get rid of the repo that you don't want. That makes a real pretty birthday page. All right, so we've got this sticking out here on the line. This is my last pass. We're on the home stretch. All right. So now we have this beautiful piece. Flip it over. It's more dramatic on the yellow with that blue in the background. All right. So let me get the scraps out of our way. All right. Now, so right now, this would make a beautiful title page. So it'd look good like this. It'd look good like this. But we're going to do something even more special. So from here, what we're going to do is we are going to center it in our space here on the mat. We are going to grab this. And what did I do? I think I did the red blade on the inside, but you can do anything you want. Just make sure that this looks like it is centered in the space. I think that looks good. And I think I'm going to use, let's be different. You know what? I'm going to use both blades. I'm going to use the blue blade and the red blade. All right, so I'm going to throw the blue blade in, make sure it's in the tracks. If it doesn't sound right and doesn't feel right, it could be you have one leg in the track and the other one not, and that will wreak havoc on your final product. So be careful about that. So I went around there, make sure it doesn't move. Then we're going to do the red blade. So we're putting it in the exact same track, and we're going to go around again. If it does move, just try to move it back a little bit. Usually it's not dramatic and it won't make a difference. All right, so that takes care of that. So now what I'm going to do is show you how pretty this is going to look for a title page. So scoot this over. So let's put, say, the green down in the middle. Pretty, huh? That's actually pretty just the way it is, isn't it? You could make a title page there. You could put just this yellow in if you want to give a nice look there. Or you could discard this one, maybe save it for another page and put this yellow in. So you have lots of different options. Let's go ahead and stick this down. So let's say you don't need a title page. What you really wanted was a double page spread. We're going to see if we can turn this into a pretty double page spread. No promises, because I haven't tried this today, but I think that we can. Often when I find a page that I like, I will turn it into, I'm putting a lot of these adhesive, especially in the middle. All right. Where did I put the adhesive? In the middle of there. So I'm going to flip it up and make sure this goes back in the space so I know where my middle is. And then I'm going to grab my trimmer and I'm going to cut through the middle. This one is nice because there's a very prominent middle. This arch right here would be our middle one. And let's see, I'm going to scoot it over. Don't forget to use these little marks to make sure I'm going right through the middle of that hump. And I am not down here, I'm way off, so I move that over. And that looks pretty stinking good. Double check that didn't shift off. All right. So now we have something that would look really pretty on a double page spread. Let me find maybe a contrasting color. Let's try, oh my. I'm just going to grab a green, I think, because I have it. This is Kelly green. Let's see how it looks. That there. That there. You could also build this directly into your album. You could put it here in the middle, and that kind of looks like a sunshine, doesn't it? Kind of pretty. You could do this kind of thing. I probably would do it like this. So all kinds of different looks that you can do. All right. Another thing that I could have done would to be have cut this way. So if I'd cut this way, then we would have this in one corner and this in the bottom corner. And that would be really super pretty too. All right. I think I'm gonna not recut it. I think I'm gonna leave it the way it is. And I think it's beautiful. So I did another one this morning with this line, by the way, was on the bright side. If you like these bright, fun, whimsical colors, that's on the bright side. This is also on the bright side. And I did this one with the geometric one, the exact same thing that I just did. And I showed you how you can throw a couple of photos on it for a title page. Is that super pretty? I like building bright colors on black. That gives a really nice pop. And then something similar that I did without the frame punch, but I just took a piece of paper, I put it in the middle, I cut out a circle and flipped the circle and then cut it in half. And this is what you get with that. So this is a lot simpler, a lot less ornate, but it's the same concept. Again, this is the other half of the piece of paper. I just cut it in half to make it a double page spread. This is front and back of the exact same paper. This line is called Natural Beginnings, brand new, just came out this week. And I love the detail in this paper. Isn't that nice? All right, so that's all I got. I hope you now understand border. They're actually called just frame punches, but they are border punches and frame punches, 2 for 1. All right, and that is coming in your secret box, free shipping till the end of the month. If you do not have an advisor, I would love for you to shop with me. I know you're allowed to order direct from home office, but we advisors, we love helping people get albums done. We will not bug you. If you order from us, we might ask you, would you like to be added to my mailing list? But we're not going to bug you. So there's no reason to feel like if you start ordering from us that you're going to get less good treatment. You're actually going to get better treatment because Creative Memories is not turning around, with little thank you notes or, free stuff every quarter for ordering, and a lot of our advisors are doing special things for our long distance people. So you might actually come out ahead by supporting us. So we do appreciate that. If you don't have an advisor, pick me, pick me. My advisor website is www.creativememories.com/user, USER, /Beckie, Beckie. And then my last name is Belote, Belote, www.creativememories.com /user /Beckie Belote. And I thank you for watching today. Thank you for liking and sharing with your friends my YouTube videos. I appreciate you. Bye now. One more thing. For those of you that are coming to my weekend retreat, the first weekend in March, the deadline to get your Seize the Day t-shirts is February 16th, and that's when they also need our rooming list. So if you're planning on coming, don't lollygag. We still have a few more spots, and we would love, love, love to have you. Tons of fun. Can't wait to see y'all in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Let me know if you need more information or check it out on my website if you are not an advisor, this is a client retreat. If you don't have an advisor, would love to have you. Would love for you to meet my scrapbooking community, which is awesome. If you're in my scrapbooking community, make sure you make a comment about how much fun we have. I appreciate that. But my website to see my events, and I don't have them all up yet, but I do have the one in March up. And that website is www.scrapbookwithbeckie, Beckie, like that, .com. Okay, now goodbye.